Welcome to our Summer Solstice Restorative Yoga class. I'm Caren Baginski, and thanks for joining me in this celebration and also a class to balance the hot, fiery nature of this season with some calming and cooling restorative yoga poses so you can maintain a sense of radiance during the summer without burnout. You're going to need some props for this class. Gather those up, and I'll meet you back here on your mat. Grab 2 blankets, 2 blocks, and 1 flat bolster. Let's begin by matching our breath to the qualities of summer: energy, focus, brightness, clarity. We'll do this through right nostril breathing. If you have a deviated septum or a blocked nostril at this time, just visualize this practice rather than using the hand mudra that I'll share with you now. Taking your right hand, open up the palm, bring the index and the middle finger in, and then the ring finger touches the pinky and the thumb is open. We'll close off the left nostril with the ring finger, barely touching it in to just above the place where the nostril flares. You can relax the fingers, relax the shoulder, and elongate the spine. Let your other hand rest gently, whether you're seated in a cross-legged position or on your heels. If you like, you may close your eyes, beginning to breathe in and out of just the right nostril. And let's bring a gentle count to the breath. So as you inhale, count to 4. Exhale for 6, slowing down the exhale just slightly. Inhaling 4 and exhaling 6. Once you get the rhythm of the breath, focus less on the count and more on the sensation that the body feels right now through the breath. Perhaps subtle or obvious. What's showing up here as you breathe only into the right nostril, only out of the right nostril? Find your way to one more round of complete breath. And when you exhale, release the hand down to the other knee or your lap, opening the fingers. Breathe in and out through both nostrils. Eyes may remain closed or soft gaze downward. Invite an intention for this practice, maybe something you want to bring into this season of your life, or just something to focus on for right now. And open the eyes if they haven't been opened already. Entering back into the space, let's move into our first restorative yoga pose, which is simple supported backbend. You'll need 1 blanket and 1 bolster. Grab your bolster and bring that across the middle of your mat. Take your blanket, and from a basic fold or a square fold, we'll make a half rolled blanket. So take the longest side and simply half roll it up, smoothing out any wrinkles that there may be. We're going to sit on top of the bolster, plant the feet so that the toes are pointing straight forward, the knees are above the heels, and there's some space in between the legs. And then gently lower yourself down to the floor, sitting right in front of the bolster. Hook your elbows to the back edges of the bolster. Take a breath in and elongate through the spine. Move those low ribs as far away as you can from the waist and the legs. And then exhale, lower yourself down to the floor with your shoulders and pull the blanket right underneath your neck with the roll. Open your arms up to a V. And then walk your feet forward if they were too close so that there's a sense of release in the pelvis, release in the creases of the knees. The glutes are off the bolster, almost touching the floor. The shoulders as well are heavy on the floor. Close the eyes if that's comfortable. Breathe in and out of the abdomen, the upper chest. Feeling more of your body participate in the breath as you hold this position. Make any final adjustments. For example, if your low back is achy, rearrange yourself so that there's no tension in this pose for your back, your legs, or your heart. And now relax even the depth of your breath. Just let everything become natural and soft. And allow yourself to rest in stillness and silence for a little bit of time. I'll let you know when it's time to transition. Observe any physical or energetic sensation that may now be here because of this position and because of the time you took to rest. Maybe it's a lightness, a brightness, a sense of levity. No judgment for whatever's here. It's all welcome here in the practice. We all respond differently to these positions. To come out, bring your elbows, your arms inward on top of the bolster. In two ways, you can either drop down with your hips to the floor and push up to a seat, or you can roll over to a side and come upwards. So whatever will feel most nourishing for you, go there now, nice and slow. Eventually making your way upright. And when you do that, Lifting up in your seat, whatever seat that will be for you, whether it's cross-legged or on your heels. Let's arch backward into the spine like cat, dropping the chin in, offering a gentle counter pose to that back bend. Navel drives in and down, just softening into the whole back, spreading the shoulder blades wide, and lift up to a neutral spine. Let's set up for our next position, which is supported seated angle. Turn around to the bolster, and we'll remove the rolled blanket from the mat. Fold it up into a double square fold blanket. If you have any questions about blanket folding, you can find that in my book. And take that square fold, double square fold blanket and arrange it so that the point of the blanket is up the middle of the mat. Then grab your 2 blocks, one at the highest height, second one at the lowest height. Take your bolster and we'll start to ramp the bolster up the blocks. But first, we're going to take the other blanket, open it up into a rectangle fold. And this is basically making the blanket look exactly like the length of a bolster and setting it right on top. Now, sitting on top of the double square fold blanket, right at the edge, open your legs comfortably wide into a V. We're sitting here on the edge of the blanket to promote a sense of the back edges of your pelvis tipping up so that it feels more effortless to fold over the legs. Now, depending on where you're at with your body, you might be able to fold a lot or very little, and all is welcome here. So I'm going to show you this first setup with the bolster ramp, angling the back bolster block toward the bolster. I'll just bring it up at a 45-degree angle so that it's right in between the legs. And when I lower with my arms down onto my sides, my abdomen, my cheek can rest here on the bolster. If that feels like it's way too far away, just move the block in till you create more height. Now, another option entirely is tipping up the bolster on edge and resting your head on it instead. I'll let you find your way to what feels most comfortable for you at this point in time for your body. Relax into the upper body, close the eyes. Resting either your forehead to the bolster or a cheek. Allow yourself to rest here for some time, feeling the calming effects of bending forward, darkness behind the eyes. Transition out by lifting the upper body and supporting yourself as you need to lift upright with the head above the heart. Let's dismantle the bolster ramp, taking the blocks off to the side, Place the bolster lengthwise up the middle of your mat. If you had any other blankets, another blanket on top of your bolster, set that to the side as well. For the blanket that you're seated on, fold it in half one more time. With the neatly folded edge facing you, take that to the back edge of the bolster and turn around to face the opposite direction and extend your legs long. We're transitioning into supported fish. Bringing the bolster right up against the edge of your pelvis, lean forward slightly. Then exhale, lifting the rib cage away from the waist. Lower down, the entire low back is held by the bolster. And once the head comes to touch the blanket, you want the shoulder blades to be released and dripping offward to either side of the bolster. Rest your arms open in a V. Let the legs relax. Legs are gently together, but let the feet flop outward so there's no grip. And close the eyes. If this feels too intense for your low back, roll up your other blanket and place it underneath your knees. With the back of your heart supported and elevated, whole spine lengthened on the bolster. Breathe in a new depth into the abdomen, into the chest. Relaxing the throat and the face, breathe out with a soft sigh or two. Feeling coolness of the breath in the nose as you breathe in. And then gentle heat and warmth in the back of the throat as you breathe out. And then lull yourself into silence and stillness. Open up to receiving your intention that you set. Simply by being. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Transition now by bending one knee into the chest and planting the foot flat, followed by the other. You might choose to roll carefully off to the side or press your palms into the floor, tucking the chin in. Lift up to a seat coming off of the bolster. The legs may cross or go long. Just taking another breath in and out to feel spaciousness across the heart, whatever's here as a result of this position. Always so nice to take a few moments to pause and to recognize the effects. And then coming into whatever comfortable seat will work for a little bit. Before we arrive in basic relaxation pose, we'll practice left nostril breathing. Just breathing in and out through the left nostril This will help to turn on the parasympathetic nervous system, help us embody qualities of calm, relaxation, and balance out the heat that we may have generated through these practices just here on the mat today. So taking your hand back into the mudra or visualizing this practice, let's close off the right nostril now with the thumb. Close the eyes if that's comfortable. Breathe in and out through the left nostril. Establish a count in to 4, out to 6. Making a slower exhale than inhale. Relax any tension in the forehead, creases of the eyes or mouth. And soften even into the shoulder and the elbow of the hand that is in the mudra, or both arms if they're down. Observing what's arising now through this simple breath. Take one more complete round. And when you exhale, release the hand if it's there. Release the visualization. Breathe in and out through both nostrils with a soft gaze down or closed eyes. Opening the eyes, let's transition into our final position, which is basic relaxation pose. Take the blanket off to the side. Turn the bolster widthwise across the mat. The blanket will open up once into a square fold. Place that at the end of the mat. I'm going to move my bolster over to this other side. Choose whichever side for you works best. And then take that last blanket. Let's find the long side and roll it up. Place it at the end of the mat with a little bit of space in between bolster and blanket. Drape your knees over top of the bolster, over top of the blanket, and lower down to rest your head on the other blanket. Open your arms into a V. Close the eyes. Make any last adjustments here with your legs wide, your arms wide. Maybe reach your right arm across your body, lift that shoulder blade, set it down. Reach the left arm across your body, lift that shoulder blade, set it down. And then you'll feel more spacious into the back body, back of the heart. If you have an eye covering, you can use that as well, or just soft closing of the eyes. And there is nothing left to do. All of the busy energy of doing that can accompany the summertime, let that fade into a sense of calm being, of rest, of letting your body be held by the props in the floor. Permission to come to balance by doing nothing. Rest here until I bring you out. awakening from your rest. Deepen your breath. Make gentle movements into the body, stretches, wiggling of fingers and toes, anything that feels comfortable. And slowly bend one knee at a time inward toward the bolster. Choose a side to roll onto and roll there into a fetal position, taking that arm overhead. Arms rest at your sides. Keeping this sense of balance and rest with you. Press your palms into the floor and come up to a comfortable seat. Maybe keeping the eyes closed to maintain a few last moments inward. Bring hands together in Anjali Mudra at the heart and allow the chin to bow in slightly. Offering gratitude to all the teachers who have come before to bring this practice to us. And gratitude for the seasons of our life, that we may show up with balance. Open your eyes, relax the hands down. Take your time coming back into the space. I hope you feel this sense of energetic peacefulness that can exist during the summer season. If you enjoyed this Summer Solstice Restorative Yoga class, give it a like and subscribe to my channel so we can practice together again sometime. I'll see you in the next one.